What's up guys, I'm Sam and today we're doing this. Let's get started. Ooh.
Hey guys, you saw the teaser, you know what we're doing, and don't worry, my room is not actually on fire. No, see that? That was VFX. Let me show you how to do it. So for the heat vision, what you want to do is film yourself opening your eyes like you have heat vision. So another thing that I did is that I used the light. So I basically had my brother turn it on when the heat vision was supposed to start. Now this can take some practice, but just try to get the timing right if you have a light. Also, try not to blink or move your head too much, as this is going to make the whole process harder. So the less you move your head and the less you blink, the better. So for the fire room, all you need is a picture of the place that you're going to burn. Now it can also be a video, it doesn't have to be a picture, but just know that if you're using a video, make sure to shoot it on a tripod so that the shot doesn't move at all. Now make sure that the room or the place you're burning is not too bright. Now it doesn't have to be super dark, but it helps if it's a little bit less brighter than usual. For example, if the place you have has windows, try to put like a white sheet or something just to cover the windows to dim the light a little bit, because that'll help the fire to look better and to blend in more when we actually do the effects. Now I also lit a few different parts with orange lights. This was just to add more realism to the whole shot. Now listen, VFX is great, but if you can combine that to real life, it's even better. And that's something that I always love to say. So if you have some lights or anything you can use to add to the shot when you're filming, once you add the fire or whatever effect you try to do on top of that, it'll just help it to blend more at the end so that it looks more real. So yeah, and the last thing you will need to do this effect, and that's very important, is just to download all the effects in the description below. Now this includes the heat vision that I made in After Effects, the flare that I used, a few sound effects, and of course all the fire that you will need to do the effect. So yeah, once you got all that, you're pretty much good to go. So let's jump into KineMaster and get this thing started. Alright, so here we are in KineMaster, and the first thing we'll do is import the footage. Then search for the flare that you've downloaded from the effects pack and import it as a layer. Now this is the flare that I used, but let's say you didn't want that flare or you wanted another color or whatever it is, you could also go to Google Images and look up or search up for another flare. It's up to you. But for this tutorial, I'm going to use the one that's in the effects pack. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is put it to a screen blending mode and time it so that it starts at the same time as the light or your heat vision. Next, trim it so that it lasts the duration of the effect. Then you can move it, scale it up or down, and animate it by tapping on this button here. Now this could take some time, but just go through the footage and animate the flare so that it follows your eye. The more time you put into it, the better it will look. After that, give it a fade in and fade out animation. Now, let's check out a preview. Great. Now guys, after that, you can repeat the same steps for the other eye. And that's it for the flares. Now for the heat vision, it's also simple. Just import it as a layer, put it to a screen blending mode, and time it to your footage. You can also scale it up or down as you need. Then, as we did before, just animate it so that it follows your eye. Again, this can take some time, but it's definitely worth it. Now guys, you could also repeat the heat vision steps for the other eye, but it's really up to you. For me, I felt like it wasn't really necessary. Let's have a preview. Great. Let's add some camera shake. Now this is also a technique that I used in my sonic effect, and it's very easy. So the first thing we must do is export the video. You can do this by tapping the export and share button, and it will take you to the export and share tab. For the settings, it's really up to you, but I would recommend full HD at 24 frames per second. Then tap export. On a new project, import a background, and this can be any color. Then import the footage you just exported as a layer and scale it up. Then make sure to adjust the length of the background so that it's the same as the layer. Then, with the layer selected, tap on overall animation and select drift. And that's it for this effect. Now for the fire room. Now this isn't as hard as you think it might be. Once you import your background in KineMaster, it's really just a matter of layering the fire assets on top of each other and putting them to a screen blending mode. Now how you want to arrange the fire is up to you, but for my shot, I made sure to put them where I had my lights. Now once you have arranged all the fire however you want to, select your footage and tap the vignette button. And this is just to add some more details, especially to the corner fires. Next, import a background as a layer and make it orange. Put it to a screen blending mode, go to crop, feather it all the way, and change the shape to a circle. Then go to overall animation and select pulse. Now you can position that layer over the fire at the bottom, or you could also do it on the corners, but this is just to add some more glow. Now you can duplicate the orange glow, and as I said, you can put it on either sides or on every side if you want. Alright, this looks great, but let's make it look more cinematic. To do this, export the video like we did before and bring it to a new project. After that, go to the color filter and apply the basic B07. Now go to color adjustment and change the settings to your liking. But that's optional. I'll just bring down the saturation a little bit and also bring up the contrast and the brightness to around 4. Now duplicate it as a layer, scale it up to fit the screen, put the blending mode to overlay, and bring down the opacity to about halfway. And if I put the opacity up and down, you can really see what this does to enhance the effect even more. Now the last thing I did for this is add some camera shake like we did before. So throw in some sound effects in there, add up all those effects, and you get something like this.
Ooh. That's not good.
Alright guys, that's it for today's tutorial. If you have any questions or suggestions, make sure to subscribe and comment below. If you don't have KineMaster, you can get it on Apple's App Store and also on Google Play Stores for us Android users out there. So yeah, just use the links in the description below or search for KineMaster because this app is amazing. Also, make sure to check out my channel at Sam Edits. There will be a link for that in the description below as well. Thank you for watching, stay safe, and don't forget to create, edit, and share.